Welcome to
No Fucking Filter.
It'll be fun.
We'd love to talk to you about jpegmini. jpegmini is a powerful image and video optimization tool designed to help you save storage space and reduce costs without sacrificing image quality. Whether you're a photographer, designer, or content creator, jpegmini ensures your images remain stunning while being efficiently compressed. Cut storage and costs, automatically reduce image and 4K video file sizes by up to 80% to save space and lower costs. Maintain high quality, share, print, and save images that look exactly like the originals with no quality loss. Quick and easy, drag and drop images for fast, efficient batch processing with our user-friendly app. Boost productivity, spend less time managing large files with seamless integration into Photoshop, Lightroom, and Capture One via jpegmini Suite. Visit www.jpegmini.com and use our code NFFPOD20 for 20% off your purchase for the first 50 listeners.
Welcome back to the NFF podcast. We have officially touched down in Vancouver, aka Lisa's old stomping grounds, and we're so excited for today's episode because you've heard us talk about them all season. Introducing our lovely sponsors and friends, Together We Co., also known as Sara and Aileen. Hello.
Hello. Hi. We are so happy to be here. You guys are have a rivalry right now. We have a
Unintentionally.
West Coast sweatshirt and a New York sweatshirt.
I think both are great.
Yes, they're both amazing photographers here in Vancouver, and we are so excited to chat with them today.
We're excited.
Welcome,
Thank you.
guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yes, if you guys are listening, there's a bomb cyclone about to hit Vancouver, so good thing we're doing this now while we can. We are so excited to chat with you guys. I've known both of you for a long time. Sara was my first ever photo friend.
Yep.
I can honestly say without Sara, I probably would not be a photographer.
You know what? Me too.
Whoa. How does that feel, Sara?
So much power.
You created
too much responsibility.
You created two competitions. No, I remember I reached out to Sara, I don't even know, before my daughter was born. So probably 10 years ago, for a coffee. I had a Canon Rebel. And I was like, I want to be a photographer. Tell me what to do. And Sara generously took me to all her weddings. We second shot so many weddings together.
Two or three seasons.
Yeah, probably 40 weddings or something we shot together. And here we are. Yeah.
Me too. I was doing weddings part-time, and I had a part-time job at H&M, and
I remember that.
yeah, and I was like, I really want to go full-time, but I just don't know if I should take the leap. And then I posted on a Facebook group, and I was like, I want to go full-time. Is there anyone I can pick the brain of? And Sarah's like, yeah, you can message me. We met up for coffee, and that was almost 10 years ago, and the rest was history. She helped me dive in. So thank you, Sara.
Thank you, Sara. This is a
You're
Sara
true protege.
appreciation. Actually, Aileen, I remember being at ARC. We're here for ARC, but I remember being at ARC, and you were like, I just want to quit my job at H&M. And I was like, do it right now.
Yeah.
Here, use my cell phone.
Yeah. Actually, that was almost to the day.
Yeah.
I want to say 8 years ago. Yeah. Because it was November when we were at ARC, and I just remember I was like, I'm going to do it. And then 2 weeks later, I quit my job. So thank you to you too, Lisa.
And now look at us. You guys have started your own business.
We have, yes.
Can you guys tell us a bit about Together We Co?
Okay, well, Together We Co. is a business development and management service that we started for photographers, basically to help support other people and take some of the workload off of them, and basically just be a support team their back end, and have it be an experience where we help them develop their business and grow their business. So yeah, that's us.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well, we love you guys.
Oh, right back at you.
We said you guys are like the Vancouver version of us.
I know.
Oh my gosh. We're the Calgary version of them.
That's true.
Down to the hair almost.
So yeah, maybe you guys can tell us a bit about what inspired you to start Together We Co.
Would you like to? Okay, I'll go first. Yeah, so I think Sara and I mean, we love weddings, but we're also like, we want to be people as well and have a life. And, you know,
What's that like?
we're still getting there. And yeah, so we were like, what can we do to kind of pivot, still do weddings part-time, but what else are we passionate about? And Sara and I are both very similar. We always joke that, I mean, we have a age gap between us, but she is the 12-year future version of me. You would never know. Sara, I hope to age like you.
This is us. This is exactly us. I feel like it's probably the same age gap.
I don't know. We
Side tangent.
all look amazing.
I know. I think we all look pretty good.
Guys, we're all young. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Age is just a number truly in this room.
We are the same generation, but we're
Yeah. Yeah. And so like our personality is very similar. We're both very type A. We love the business side of things. And so we kind of just like, you know, I talked about it briefly, and then Sara was like last year, she's like, you know, if you really want to do this, like we should try it. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like if there's anybody that could do it, I honestly think it's us. So we started to brainstorm, and we're like, we want to help other photographers do all this back end stuff, help them develop their business, grow their business, and we can target, you know, all different kinds of audiences, people who are starting up, people who want to scale, and people who want some more support and get some of their personal time back.
That's what I was just going to say, is like giving people their time back in ways, like, because running a business, we all understand that it's not like it's 24/7, 365. It's not like, well, we have the flexibility to make our breaks and everything and like take holidays, and the flexibility is really what won it over for me. But yeah, like I need more time. Where's my time? Because I'm struggling right now.
Yeah. And it feels like if you're not doing it, like the work's not going to get done. And it's true. So that's kind of where we want to be, like that support, that partner in everyone else's business to help them. Help them grow.
So do you guys dive into like outsourcing and stuff too? Or like what could photographers be outsourcing?
Yes. So essentially, we have a team of contractors who works for us, and we've picked people that are experts in their field. So we have a copywriter, we have graphic designers, we have social media managers, some other people. So when you outsource to us, we basically delegate it to the team. So the team kind of runs the things that they are good at. And so we say you can pretty much outsource anything you can think of. Like, aside from shooting.
Do my entire job, please.
But essentially there's pretty much not very many limits to what you can outsource. So we have people working with us on their websites. We have people we're doing blogs for. We create slideshows for people. We help with client management systems. We help with what else do we help with?
Submission.
Oh yeah, submissions to publications. We curate people's work. So if they're like looking to submit to like a contest or to a publication, we can like curate that for them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you need all of those things.
I do too. So mostly photographers, or like it could be anyone really, right?
Anyone, but pretty much only, like we're pretty much exclusively just working with photographers at this point, because the people that we have working for us, we've kind of trained them in that like space, in that like photography world. No.
Yeah, and also like we feel like we're the experts in photography, so we want to lend our experience and things that we've tried out that are proven to work, so that we feel like, you know, we're confident in giving this advice and yeah, giving this kind of coaching.
Yeah, you're amazing at what you do because you have seen it from another angle and another side, and you know it, the ins and outs and stuff. So amazing. Do you think that there's like a common struggle between like all the photographers? Is there one thing that everyone comes to you for? Or?
That's a loaded question. I think we'll both answer on this. Oh gosh. Okay, well, I guess social media actually is like a big one. We're finding that, I mean, myself included, it's just such a beast and there's so much that goes into it. So I feel like everyone, once they hear, they're like, oh, you offer social media. But the problem is too, is like, there is a price tag with that because it's very involved. There's a lot of work. And so finding the right fit for our clients too is another thing. And I think also coming to terms with the fact that like you have to relinquish some kind of control. These people are not going to emulate exactly how you're going to sound or post exactly what you want. And I mean, I feel like this is something that goes on every part of your business. If you're outsourcing, like you have to realize like it's not going to be exactly how you would do it, but you also need to know that like it's going to help you in the long run.
And if you're struggling, you're probably not doing it at all. So
exactly, like me, I didn't post for like a whole year.
Yeah, I think it's better to have someone working on something that's maybe not going to be like 100%, but still getting you like 70 or 80% of the way there. And then you just have the final little touches to do. We always tell clients that, especially with copywriting work, because we find that's very, very personal. So like, especially with doing people's copy for either social media or their website, their blog or whatever, it's never going to sound 100% like you, but just getting that work out there consistently. So like blogging, it's more important to have a consistent blog going out on a regular basis. Lisa, how are you looking like that?
I thought I heard a siren or a child screaming. Sorry. I blanked over.
I was like,
I thought you were giving me the look because you haven't blogged in a while.
That too. Let's say it was for that.
You looked guilty.
Sophia, how's your blog?
I blogged recently, just
yay.
2 years ago. It's very recent. People it's up there. They can read about it.
I think it's funny too, because like as artists, we're so like hyper connected to our words and our work, and we think it's like the most important thing ever. But realistically, like people are not going to a photography website to read every single word that you've written.
They're not?
No.
Except mine.
Yes. They hang on to your every word. So basically it's just like optimizing things for Google and for SEO and for search. That's kind of the key. But I was going back to what you were asking before, I was gonna say like, yes, social media for sure, but also we're finding this year, editing and culling is like literally our number one most requested service, but which we do offer this year, but drum roll. In the future, next year, we're planning on not offering post-production anymore. We will have a partner that we can send you to for your editing and culling needs. But where we're really passionate, where we really feel like we can offer value is in the business development side. So that's what we're really like wanting to focus on next year, is helping photographers to grow their businesses, coming up with ideas of ways that we can like basically take your business to the next level or to scale up.
Yeah, I love that. And now with AI editing too, I feel like there's not as much need to have like a human editor probably, right? You can just forward everyone to AI.
yeah, because there's other people that are experts in that that area, right? So we'll have more on that later.
Circle back.
That actually brings us to a point we were going to ask a little later, but we're on the topic. So where do you guys see Together We Co in the future? What's coming up? I'm excited to know.
Tell us everything.
Well, we are hoping to, help as many people as we can. But yeah, I think like Sara said on her last point about business development, we really want to help a wide range of people, whether it's people who are new to the business and just want to like invest kind of right off the bat and have us help them set up their business so that it works efficiently, and help them bring their brand to a more like refined state. And then, help people who are, have a few years into the business and just need some more support, and we can help them scale. And then, definitely giving people some of their time back and just giving them support. So, yeah.
Are you guys based so you're based in Vancouver, but you guys can do this anywhere, right?
So right now we're working with photographers in a few different places, actually. We're working with photographers in Alberta.
Amazing.
We're working with photographer in Ottawa, which just started.
Oh, cool.
And we work with photographers locally, but we pretty much can work from anywhere. So, and we have systems kind of set up to allow us to just do all of this remotely.
It's just going to keep growing.
Yeah, I hope so.
You can help whoever and wherever.
I think future, speaking of kind of like things in the future, we definitely want to do more on the business development side, because that's what we're really like passionate about. We also have like a few other little projects that we're thinking of as well. So like things that we want to launch in the upcoming year are VIP days. So that would be like you essentially get us for an entire day to basically knock out as much stuff on your to-do list as possible.
I love that.
So there'll be, we're also going to have available for next year's consulting packages. So essentially like we will do a deep dive into your business and tell you what things are not necessarily working and recommend some ways to change things. And then we also, we had in the works, which we haven't actually launched yet because we haven't had time, but we also have some digital products coming up as well.
Amazing. We can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
And this is so exciting.
Need everything.
Your reaction was like, this is what we want people to feel.
This is the time of year I'm sure that you guys are getting like a lot of traffic because everyone's burnt out and like needs to make a change.
Yep. People are literally being like, I'm going to throw money at the problem because I need help. And we're like, we're here to help you.
Money.
Yeah.
I think I heard somewhere that the average life of a photography business is like 5 years or something. Do you guys know, or have you seen? I know we're above average. We're above average. Yeah. People burn themselves out. Weird. Right. Those people are smart enough to stop. We just keep burning ourselves out year after year. But do you notice there's like a place where people plateau or kind of get stuck?
I think the people that are pushing past, like the people that are in the 10-year mark, they're good. They like pretty much know what they're doing. They've held on for this long. Like they've got systems. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's kind of that middle range, because when you first start, you're also so energetic and you have like so many ideas and you have all this like, you just have all this creative passion for it. And so you're like, I'll just do all of these things. I'll experiment. I'll do all these different things. Then I feel like between that kind of like couple year in mark and the 10-year mark, sort of in that middle zone, like around like 3 or 4 years, 5 years, I feel like that's where people kind of get stuck, because they're like, okay, I don't really know how to take my business to the next level. Like, if I have more clients, then that's just like way more work for me. And how do I continue down this path of just like shooting every single weekend of the year? Mm-hmm. Right. But there are ways to, like, outsourcing literally will change your business
and your life.
Yes.
Most important.
It really will.
I think we've seen it too. People almost get too busy right away, and their business like rapidly takes off, and then that's kind of a scary place to be too. So
I feel like that's also kind of when people are just like, well, I've done this and it's worked, but then maybe it's not working anymore. So they kind of feel stuck where they're like, maybe I don't want to change what I'm doing. And then that's kind of where it's not serving them anymore. So I feel like at the maybe 5-year mark is when you kind of want to think about what's your niche. What you have enough experience now to know like what you like to do, what you want to continue doing, and maybe something else that you want to try. So that's like a good time to reevaluate, I think.
You guys mentioned that some people find it hard to let go of that control. I feel
Guilty.
like I would be one of them as well. Everyone raise a hand.
Yeah, that's 4.
Have you found it hard to work with someone that like is holding on to that control, or have you had any circumstances with clients where you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work?
Oh yeah. Sarah, I'll let you go first.
I mean, I can't think of any specific examples, but yes, it definitely can be challenging for sure. And I like empathize with clients too, because it is really hard to let go of this thing that you're like so invested in. And also we are also very personally connected to like our own work as artists, because we actually were there for that moment. We took that photo. We have like a personal like feeling about that photo, but I really think stepping back from that and like kind of just realizing that like other people aren't going to see the photos in the same way. Like I just had portfolio review done on my own work from someone else, and I highly recommend having somebody look through your portfolio, because they will literally pick up things that you are not seeing.
Yeah.
And they don't have that same bias or connection to certain photos. They will, like, if you find someone really honest that will give you like great feedback, it's game changing, because you're seeing it how clients will see it, not how you see it.
Right.
Right.
And how was that for you? Like, that sounds, I'm actually doing that tomorrow.
Are you?
I'm terrified.
Yeah. It's fine. It's honestly fine. I mean, you don't have to take the advice, but I think it's just really, really important to have other people's eyes on your work. Because yeah, as I said, like a few years back, actually for 3 years in a row, I got nominated for Rangefinder 30. I never actually got it, but I got nominated 3 times, it's a big honor. But during that process, I actually had some friends, Sherry and Mike, actually, they did portfolio reviews with me each year so we could nail down like the images, and they would see stuff that like I never would have seen. Like they gave me advice about like certain editing things to make the photos stand out more for the submission. They were so smart, and I never would have like figured that out on my own. So yeah, I think getting a portfolio review at least once a year.
It's kind of like eyebrow blindness.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like I for a while there I was going a little crazy with these eyebrows, and I was like
Right now.
But it's so funny because you can just like, you don't see it yourself, like, and it just looks like normal, and then someone has to be like, I'm like curious like what my blindness is, but like it's clear that people have blindness about their photos too, because I can look at some photos and I'm like, I don't know how that got put out in the world, because that is odd.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Most of them are good photos, but like you said, it's like the editing starts to evolve into like a weird direction or something.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, for me personally, my problem with like letting go of control was like, okay, if I try this thing and it doesn't work, like that's it, that's the end all be all. But it's like, no, if it doesn't work out, it's okay. You can change it. You could go, you could revert. Like it's not set in stone. So I think that's also another hard truth I think people need to realize. I think swallowing those hard pills is really what's going to like help change you.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the beauty of having your own business, right? You can evolve as often as you want to. You can change anything you want, and well, some people might care, but overall, no one's going to probably even notice. Like,
exactly.
Your clients will still be your clients, and
Yeah, try things out, experiment, grow, and make mistakes. I think that's the biggest thing, is like,
Absolutely.
if you're just so stagnant for so long and like maybe something's working for you, but it's like, I don't know, then there's no growth, right? Like, yeah.
Now that you are busy with Together We Co, how are you guys finding running your own businesses? Do you need to use your own services?
Oh my gosh. Yes. That actually has been so incredible. I feel like I've grown a lot this year because of Together We Co, in so many ways. Like, I could go on forever, but I will try to keep it short. Yeah. So like the outsourcing, since we've been able to find other contractors, like we've been using them for our own businesses. And then actually for me, for a long time, I was afraid to like look at other people's work because it would make me feel really insecure about mine. And actually the opposite happened where, you know, we're curating other people's galleries, we're culling through, we're editing for them. And I'll see things and I'm like, I never thought to shoot it that way. Like, this is so inspiring. And I actually felt like this year I'm so much more like re-energized. I mean, it also helped that I took on less weddings, so I'm not as burnt out, or really honestly burnt out at all, which feels crazy to say. But yeah, being able to see things in a different light and seeing how other people shoot has actually helped me grow in my photography.
Wow. I love that. I feel like there is like a positive and negative to basically everything. And like the comparison that people find on Instagram can be so overwhelming and daunting that they literally have to take breaks off of Instagram.
Yeah.
But there is a beauty in it. You get so inspired by people, right? So
Yeah.
you really have to like take it as like more of an inspiration thing rather than.
It's really interesting for us to looking through all of people's work, not just like Instagram photos, because
Yes.
Instagram photos are very
They're the
curated,
highlight
right? They're
reel.
highlights, but we actually look at like full galleries from people. And so that is very interesting to see how somebody will approach shooting the entire day. Lisa looks like she wanted to say something.
I just always think that. I'm like so curious. Like some of these photographers that it's so weird. Like they're just people that take photos like we are, but they almost get this like big name around them and we're like, ooh, they're like a celebrity. But I always want to see like their full gallery. Like I'm so curious. I'm like, how do they shoot that like ugly indoor lighting? Like I'm sure it's not. Wow.
So I have to say, after looking at many, many, many galleries over this season, the one thing that those people have in common is they are amazing curators. So they not saying they're not amazing, not saying they're not amazing photographers. They are amazing photographers as well. But I'm sure if you looked at your gallery and their gallery side by side, they'd be very similar. The thing that they really have nailed down is how to curate and present their work. And that's the difference.
I'm hoping that you guys can share a little tips for us about curating. Like what makes people so good at it?
Well, I don't know what makes people so good at it. I mean, I guess what makes people so good at it is just doing it a lot. One thing that I have found really has helped me, because I'm rebranding this year, so I'm really, really refining my portfolio at this moment. And one thing I've found very helpful is I came up with 3 brand words when I kind of thought about like where I want my business to be and what I want the rebrand to be. So coming up with 3 or 4 like keywords. And then basically when you're looking at your portfolio that you're posting on either your website or your Instagram, you run those images through those 3 or 4 words. And if they do not fit into those 3 or 4 words, you do not put them up. It's hard.
My mind is getting blown right now.
I'm deleting everything. It's very hard. It's very difficult. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, so kind of touching on that, not kind of, for sure touching on that, you just gotta be cutthroat, I think. I mean, not that like I'm practicing what I preach, but I think that people who are really good at curating know like exactly their target market. If they're looking for editorial luxury, like that is all they're showing. But like for us, like we're seeing kind of peek behind the curtain of like their whole gallery, and like most of the gallery they're shooting is like very much like yours and mine, right? Like there's only so many ways you can really shoot a wedding day, but it's like those select images that they're showing, and they're really probably showing like 5 to 10% of like their entire galleries. So I think just like honing in on that and like being cutthroat about it.
Well, that's inspiring to hear that not everyone's getting these like amazing
or just
luxury
high
weddings.
res and we can curate it for you.
Yes,
Sarah's
that's
actually-
your top tip.
Sarah's very good at it.
Well, we're definitely going to hire you for that. So much like us, you guys were friends that now work together. How are you finding that?
It's honestly been great. I actually feel like we're married. We literally like run on the same schedule. Like I just know what she's doing at like any time of day. And I'm like, okay, I'll call you after like 5 because I know you're making dinner. Or like, okay, we'll meet after 11 because I know you're playing pickleball and I'm going to a spin class. So yeah, so we've kind of like synced up our schedules together. And then, we talk all the time. We'll call her. We cut up, all the pleasantries. Like, hey, how's it going? We just like get into it. Hey, did you answer this email? Like, did you do this? Like you get real comfortable. But it's been great. Like I feel like, over COVID, we kind of like didn't see each other. Obviously, we didn't talk that much. And then obviously she became a mom and everything. And so I feel like it brought us like closer together again.
Amazing. Lisa and I are still working on our knowing each other's schedules because for some reason, every time I call her, she's coming out of the shower. Like
We're like in the courting phase.
Literally 3 times a week, Sophia FaceTimes me while I'm getting out of the shower. Sometimes I'll answer.
I love
know
how
we're
Sophia
scheduled
is
to a
just a
point, but-
rogue FaceTimer. Do you just FaceTime people without messaging them first?
Yes. I am I actually think I'm from a different generation, you guys. Like, do not text me. I will not answer any group texts. I won't answer your text. You want to call me or FaceTime me, I'll answer.
Actually, I am very obsessed with voice notes this year. I use them so much. I love voice notes.
Okay, I don't do voice notes, but you know what I do that really bugs my husband? I'll be in the middle anywhere, and instead of texting, because I hate texting, my poor little fingers, they don't like it. And so I will voice to text you all the time. It's bad. But maybe I need to start trying these voice notes.
Voice notes is the best. That's actually how our clients communicate with us a lot of time through voice notes because it's too long for them to write out all the stuff they want to tell us in just like a text message. So we always say like, just voice note us.
Do you guys do FaceTimes at all? I'm just curious.
We do. Only scheduled though.
Yeah.
No rogue.
Not during shower time. This kind of actually leads me to the next question. Sophia and I definitely have a couple of things that I'm sure annoy each other when working together.
Let's hear them.
Not to call her out, but she will not answer a text past 6 p.m. ever. Yeah, I respect those boundaries. So it's so funny, like working so closely together, you just kind of learn each other's little quirks. Are there any quirks about each other that drive you nuts?
I can tell.
Okay, well, it doesn't drive me nuts, but
Okay, let's go.
so every afternoon, Aileen gets really sleepy, and she has to take a nap, like literally every day.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, and we traveled to Scotland together one time, and let me just tell you that if you're sitting shotgun, you gotta stay awake, but she cannot stay awake.
She was having her scheduled nap, so look.
I feel like I knew this about you.
I'm glad you said that because actually I did this because I was like, oh, I feel like I know what would annoy you. It's like a work thing, but I feel like whenever I make a proposal for our clients, I always miss something. And I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that? And I feel like every time Sarah has to tell me. So I'm really glad that this doesn't annoy you.
This is like couples therapy.
Yeah, totally. But you're right. I should stop napping because I keep missing wildlife and stuff. She'll like wake me. She's like, there's a bear. I know.
There's a castle.
I am like in a coma next to her. So.
I love that.
Okay.
I kind of feel like sorry.
No, you don't get to tell me what annoys you.
I
I wanna hear it.
I feel like you and Aileen are so similar, and Sara and I are so similar.
Yes, it's so funny. I love it. Oh no, I want to hear.
It's actually a tough
If you
one.
don't have one in the bank, this is a good thing. You must not get
Yeah, she's just perfect. I'll just tell you later what it is. No, just kidding.
You'll just talk about it.
Okay, this is actually a double, like a positive and a negative, quote unquote. I do appreciate that she knows what she's talking about, like all the time. Like on our calls, sometimes I want to like say something because I feel like it's actually more an insecurity. I feel like I'm not contributing anything. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, I kind of want to say something. But then like she'll say it and I'll be like, oh, okay, I can't say it now. But that's it.
She's just on top of it.
She's just on top of it. Exactly.
You know
So
what?
it's like a double whammy kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That's
yours?
pretty good.
Mostly I'm like, okay, Lisa, you're going to have to talk the entire time, okay? Because I don't want to say a word.
Pretty much the same. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty glad that she takes the lead, you know?
Okay, well, now you have to say what yours is.
Oh, about you? Nothing. You are literally perfect.
Wow, that was a trap. You made us say it, but
Honestly, yeah, I don't think there's.
Is it the 50 text messages that you wake up to in the morning?
I love those. I read them. I don't respond.
I get inspired at night and I'll be like, I just have to like get these things out or else I'm going to forget. So I'll be like, hey, I know we should do this. This would be like so great.
oh, yeah, her too. You guys are literally the same. She is like a chronic entrepreneur. She's like, oh, I have so many business ideas.
Like every 10 minutes I have an idea.
Okay, I love that. That's we've noticed that's kind of like every time we get together, we're like, okay, we just started a new business.
You should see Sarah's computer. She has literally 100 tabs open, but she'll know where everything is. It stresses me out.
Hopefully that's not an indication of your brain. It kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is. There's a lot going on up here. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, wait, I want to know, is there anything besides me not answering a text?
Honestly, no.
Deep dive.
Tell me.
I feel like we, thank God, work so well together. I mean, there's not a lot of people I could spend so much time with.
It's true. Actually, I was going to say, like, as much as we joke, I don't think that there's literally anyone else I could run a business with.
Yes.
It would be like very difficult for me to run a business with anyone else that like has a very different personality, I think.
No, it's working for a reason. That's so good.
We always joke like she's just like the one generation younger version of me. We're like essentially the same person, just like with a
Hey,
big
this
gap.
is wild.
Yeah, it is eerie.
Congratulations to you guys, by the
thank
way.
you.
Like
On
for
my
finding
second
each other,
marriage.
your marriage, your
Oh, yeah.
company. Like it's really beautiful.
Thank you. I'm Sophia. You also got married. You got married recently, right?
I did.
Yeah, so did I. I got married last year, but yeah, so we are the same.
Wow. This is like we need to have like
Yeah.
okay, we all need to hang out more.
Yes, absolutely.
We will. To Vancouver.
We'll come to Calgary.
Yeah, I was gonna say come to Calgary. We'll show you a good time. Have you guys
Aileen
been
and
to Calgary?
Yeah, we used to come visit Lisa
Come and
all the
stay with
time,
me.
but we haven't gone since COVID because COVID. And yeah.
Yeah, we've all been like so lucky. I think we've probably, well, aside from Sophia working with you guys, we've all worked for each other and with each other too. Like I said, Sara and I probably shot, I don't know, 40 weddings.
Yeah.
Aileen, you and I
I've shot with
10.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but it is hard to find second shooters that you vibe with too. And just, I feel like I've always loved working with both of you, and we're all kind of like on the best
same
stage
page.
too. Yeah.
Where have I been?
It's okay, you're here now. Well, thank God for Lisa finding you. So now you're in our lives.
So good. Sara, I know we have some funny stories from all the weddings we've shot.
Some good ones.
Yeah. Are there any that you want to tell?
Okay. Okay, I feel like we are thinking of like the same ones. Probably. There's a couple that stand out in my mind. Okay, so I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we were shooting a wedding in Whistler. It was one of my weddings, I think.
Yes.
This was, I think, one of the first ones, not the first one that we shot together, but it was definitely like one of the first ones maybe. And something happened, like I was with all the girls getting ready and you were with the guys and you were going to take
we had like figured out a spot to do the first look, and you were going to take him to go wait. It was like by a lake.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. Okay. So then something happened with hair and makeup. I don't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure she was maybe unhappy with her hair or her makeup. Anyways.
I remember this bride and that tracks.
Yes. They definitely ended up having to redo either hair and or makeup. I can't remember. But Lisa,
Just so everyone knows, that's like not a quick process.
no, it is definitely not quick, especially when you want like a completely different hairstyle.
That hairspray's already in, babe.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta leave that.
So yeah, Lisa had already left and taken the groom to the first look spot, and I'm pretty sure we didn't have service.
I was just going to say there was no cell service because we were in Whistler.
And so Lisa's waiting with this guy, this poor groom,
Just him and me.
by the lake. All these people walking by, and I was trying to hurry the bride up, but it was taking a really long time, and you didn't want to come back down the path because you didn't want to like risk them seeing each other. I'm pretty sure you were there for like maybe an hour.
Oh yeah, I had to like talk him off the ledge. I was like, she's coming. She'll be here any minute. Any minute.
Yeah, he was very worried that she was not going to show.
He was so confused. He was like, where is she? Like, we were there for so long, and I mean, there's only so much conversation you can make with like
Small
a
talk.
guy you don't know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a crazy
That
one.
was a crazy one. And also, actually, another little side story from that same wedding. I don't know if you remember this, but during the ceremony, this guy had a dog on a leash, and he was like standing for the entire ceremony. I think he was like an uncle or something. I don't know why he was standing, but anyways, he literally stood like in the middle of the aisle, and in the middle of the aisle with the dog on a leash. And he wouldn't move. We were working around him, like we would go and stand in front of him.
Yeah.
And then during the first kiss, Lisa physically had to move him. You literally went and grabbed his arm and were like, "Come with me, sir," and like hold him.
I don't remember that.
Hold
but
him off
that
the
does
aisle.
seem like something I would do.
That checks out, yeah. I would have like gone behind him and given him like a hug and just like started taking photos in front. Like, oh, this
It
is nice.
was bizarre. Like we were literally like standing in front of him. There's no way he couldn't have noticed us. So I'm not really sure what was going on there, but
Also, you can't bring dogs to weddings. If you're ever thinking about it, I'm pretty sure it's a no.
unless it's like
I
the
disagree.
couple's dog.
I disagree. Oh yeah. Oh, that's
Like not your own dog. His own dog. Oh my god. It wasn't the couple's dog. It was just his
that statement is.
No, we love dogs at weddings.
Yeah.
If they're their dog.
Oh my god. Yeah, you bring your own dog to a wedding? Wow. I wonder if he was a +1.
I might start bringing Harvey. He can come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then Lisa, do you remember the story about when we were way out in the shooting the wedding?
I do. I think we're talking about the same thing. We were like out in the middle of nowhere. It was like kind of late when we were leaving. It was like dusk, and there was literally no cars or anything.
It was down like a service road. Like it was literally, it was a camp. It was like a summer camp for kids, but they were having a wedding there, and there was literally like no one on this road.
And then we came around the bend, and there was a car stopped, and then we like got a little bit further, and there was a guy on the side of the road just taking a poop.
Yeah. And like our car lights like, lit him up because our like high beams were on because we're on a road where
There was no hiding. There was like nowhere he could go. He wasn't behind a bush. He wasn't
behind a bush
right
though. That
there.
was the confusing part. He was like right there on the road.
He didn't think you guys were gonna come around that
he
corner.
did not.
He really had to go.
Did you drive around him?
No, like we drove past him.
Okay.
He was on the side. Yeah, we
Oh
probably
my
waved. I don't know.
Did you slow down?
Yeah. Did you look at him? Did you make eye contact?
Well, because it was like a bumpy road, we weren't like zooming by either. It was like a slow roll by him. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What about Aileen? Do you have any like from
Nothing that can follow that. Actually, Oh my gosh. I feel like I get asked this question all the time and I cannot think of anything.
I know they all kind of like blend together, right?
Yeah. Or I just repress them.
That like occasionally pop into my mind, but then I always forget about them. You did call out the one thing I was thinking during your speeches.
Oh yeah,
episode.
the one where she talked for an hour.
She talked, yeah. And she's actually like a lovely person. And,
She is, yeah.
yeah. But
It was just a long speech.
It was an extremely long speech. We looked at our timestamps from the beginning of the speech to the end, and it was literally like over an hour.
Yeah.
And just her talking. Just her.
She had a lot
She
to
kept
say.
thinking of stuff. Oh no! She would like wind down, and then no script. No, she would wind down, and then all of a sudden she'd be like, "Oh, and that reminds me of this other thing."
And this is the bride?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
At her own wedding.
yeah.
I could have been that bride.
You can't tell the bride to stop, too.
No. This isn't a wedding story, but Sarah hosted a workshop called Camp Collective, and we went, and Aileen was my roommate.
That's right.
And I had just had a baby. June was like 2 months old or something.
that's right.
I don't know why I felt like it was a good idea to go, but I left her at home and I went for the weekend. So yeah.
Yes. I remember
Aileen
that.
had to, I mean, we knew each other before that, but we really got to know each other because she had to fall asleep to the sound of my breast pump in our like shared bed being like,
That's
"Wah, wah."
And you had to sneak away and you had to pump. And I was like,
She heard a lot, saw my boobs a lot that weekend.
loved it.
Oh my god. Okay, it's preparing her eventually if she ever wants.
Exactly.
She knows what these.
I know what I'm in for.
It's fine. Aileen has been with me while I was changing my baby's. He's not a baby now, but when I was changing his diaper, yeah, I was changing a blowout one day, and she got a serious like taste of motherhood.
I feel like we talked about how you guys came to stay with me too, and I feel like you guys got a behind the scenes like
Oh my
look at what it
gosh.
was like to run my business with 2 toddlers at home, and it was
I'm
total
pretty sure I
chaos.
had to wipe one of your children's bottoms.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Good times.
It's so fun. That was like really fun going to like see you in Calgary. Like we made a little road trip out of it, and we had like, a little style shoot.
Yeah, we
when
went
were
to
there.
Drumheller. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to do that.
Well, I'm so thankful that we have this community, and I feel like you guys are kind of just building that too with Together We Go. Like instead of, letting all these people flounder and figure it out for themselves, you're like, we will help you. So that's amazing. I don't think there's a lot of communities that are willing to do that.
No, it's amazing.
I know like how like it's like really hard to run your own business, like doing it on your own, especially if you don't come from a background of like knowing how to run a business. Like you might know how to take photographs and that part of it, but like the running the business side is the hard part. And like the taking the photographs is in some ways easier. And yeah, I just find like, and also like creative people's brains don't necessarily like work the same way. Like people that are creative are generally not people that like doing the like business side.
I can. I'm like a poster for this person. Definitely not a great learner growing up either. Like I was very like a visual learner, right? So, but yeah, the business side has never come to me. I'm still struggling.
That's okay.
You're here, you're doing it.
You're killing it.
Yeah.
You got this.
Barely.
I think, no, that's not true. Yeah, I think no one else really understands, right? Like, other friends might have their own business they run or work in a hard job or whatever, but nobody really understands the niche kind of like stuff that we deal with every day. So I know for us in Calgary, when we have our like editing dates with other friends, it's just like life-giving because you're like, someone understands this struggle. And people that don't know, the first thing they say when you say you're a wedding photographer is like, that's so fun. And you're kind of like,
Is it your real job?
well, it is.
The second question is always, tell me the craziest thing that's ever happened at a wedding. Or like, how many bridezillas do you have?
Yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah.
actually none, really.
Yeah.
Our clients are awesome.
Yeah.
True.
But this is kind of why we started this podcast too, is just to like tell people like, yo, this is the back end. This is the reality of it. Like there's so much that we talk about in the group chats. We're taking it out of the group chats and we're like exposing this industry.
Yes. And the thing too is like, it's kind of a lonely job because you're at home and you're doing things by yourself a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, when you do editing dates or you get together with other industry friends, like they get you and they're on the same schedule too, which is nice. They can meet at a coffee shop at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. So yeah, sign me up.
Totally. I think often actually like about going back to like server life and like how I just left work and had a day off and I had Christmas parties and things. I really miss it. I'm just kidding.
Let's just have one.
Way better now. I just host my own Christmas party.
Yeah.
I sometimes, when I'm really busy with photography work, I sometimes fantasize about working at like Starbucks or something and just like mopping the floor, getting paid, and like going home.
Oh my God, 100%.
You probably only like it for like a day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely like pros and cons to being your own, like owning your own business. But like, I think, yeah, definitely the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
But some days I do miss having kind of that security and like just leaving your job at your job. Yeah. Going home, not having to be like, okay, well, this never ending to-do list is just part of my life now.
Yeah. So true. Well, our final question for you guys is, can you share your biggest win and biggest challenge from the past season?
Like for Together We Co? Or
Yeah, maybe for Together We Go and for your own businesses.
let's see. Okay, biggest challenge with Together We Co. I don't know. Like, I just like, different challenges, but like, I guess trying to figure out how to like manage a team and like communicate, because it's hard when you're talking to people that aren't necessarily like wedding photographers or in the wedding industry, trying to communicate like all the things that we know about the wedding industry to somebody else. That's been like a challenge, I guess. And maybe just trying to like also reach photographers. Like we know a lot of people locally and in Western Canada, but like reach photographers like outside of our zone, because we really feel like we could help people, pretty much anywhere. But like a big win, I guess, would be just like the amount of clients that we worked with this year. Like we worked with so many clients and we're still getting inquiries, which is actually amazing. We got an inquiry actually from your podcast.
Yay!
Yeah, which is amazing. They were like, we didn't even know that this was a thing and like we need this service.
I think the challenge definitely was like just so much trial and error because like we just launched in May. And so there was a lot of things that we were like, okay, we actually have to just try it and apply it and see what works. And I think like what we were talking about in the beginning of like the editing and culling, like the culling is fine, but the editing really, like we're not experts in photo editing. I mean, we are for our own businesses, but trying to edit like other people is a bit of a challenge and it's really time consuming. So I feel like that was taking a lot of our time away from our own business and just trying to juggle that. And then for the win, similar answer. Like I was expecting us to have like 2 clients when we launched and it really ramped up over the summer. Obviously people were like, okay, we need help now. Like we're coming to you. But we're hoping to just kind of ride that wave and for it to scale and grow a bit more next year. And we're hoping to get things more like ironed out. So we're all ready for next season.
It's so exciting.
Thank you.
You survived.
But well, we're not done yet, but
We're still in the thick of it right now because obviously, like you guys know that as photographers, this is like our busiest time of the year. I'm just trying to get. Yeah, I saw your session list and I know
it's hard not to be triggered when people are like, oh, it must be so nice for you to be like slowing down now. And you're like,
slow down.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think there is a slow season really. Like, no. I mean, let's be realistic. There's always stuff we can be working on, even in the season that we're not shooting all the time.
You think of like, we do it all. This is like a common thing people post about it all the time. We're like, oh, nice to meet you. I'm the photographer. I'm the editor. I'm the, I'm like, oh, what am I?
The accountant. Your accountant. Your social media manager.
Exactly. Right. And you think of like movie production too. Like cause I'm going into video. I think about this a lot. I'm like, there's so much to learn because it's audio. There's a lot more like color, like editing and stuff. Like it's the same as photography, but different. Right. So, and like having people that can do those things for you. Like, this is the concept of like, okay, when you become a photographer, you are all those things. Yeah. But getting to a point where you don't have to be all those things, right? And like, this is where you guys come in. It's like, you don't necessarily have to be the social media manager anymore. Find someone who specializes in that.
Either, because honestly, we talk about this all the time. Like Aileen and I talk about this with clients, is this thing called zone of genius. And so zone of genius is basically like, what is the thing that you are really, really good at? And for most photographers, that's taking photos. And then it's like, what are the things that you are not actually so good at? Not even the things you don't like doing, but what are the things that somebody else could be doing better? Totally. And so find those people and get those people to work for you, because that's how you like run in a more efficient business.
Yes, 100%. Find those people that are geniuses in their own field.
Team.
Yeah. And I know a big obstacle for a lot of people with outsourcing is like finances too, aside from the control. But like we've tried it, and investing that money into your business is really worth it. And like, not even just like with us, like outsource to like other people, like get an editor yourself. Like that is going to help you make more money, because it's going to free up your time, and you're going to be able to develop your business better, focus on your zone of genius, and get those clients that are right in your target.
Yeah, you ultimately end up making more.
Exactly.
In the long run.
And you're happier. And that's what matters.
Yes. Well, it's been so great chatting with you guys.
It's been so nice.
Thank you. This was so fun.
This was our first podcast trip. That has
Ooh, taking it international. But
next, the world.
Yeah.
We hope that if someone out there is listening that is struggling, they reach out to you guys. You should.
We're
if
friendly.
you haven't. Yeah, they're very nice. They will help you.
Yeah, I can't wait to just rogue FaceTime you guys now. And
no, I'm just kidding. You have my number.
I won't do it to you.
Oh, but you can't FaceTime me because I don't have an iPhone.
Oh,
Sarah's going to be getting them when she gets out of the shower every morning.
Well, congratulations, you guys. We're so happy for you guys. Tell the world, where can they find you? What are the socials?
Our Instagram is togetherwe_co. And our website is www.togetherweco.com. Yeah, I think we don't have a TikTok because, we're old.
And
or I am.
You can use our code.
Oh, yeah.
That is
the code.
20%.
20%. 20%, Lisa.
20%. Also, I feel like we need to give a little shout out. We are starting to build the pod team. Ooh. And we have recently recruited an editor that's been helping out, and he happens to be Aileen's husband.
Oh.
So just for fun, we're going to have him edit this episode. But yeah, he's really taken the load off. Well, Sophia mostly, because she's the tech team. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yeah, you're the MVP.
Yes, and he says thank you as well.
Oh. Now, if you could cut out all of my ums and ahs. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he will.
JK, don't do that, because that's terrible.
That's a lot. And for poor people's ums
oh my
and
God,
ahs.
right? No, terrible. Well, thank you guys so much. And
thank you.
We will be in touch.
Yeah.
We love you.
We love you.
Thank you so much for listening and following along. It would mean the world to us if you could subscribe and leave a rating and a review. 5 stars only.
We come out with new episodes every second Thursday. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at the NFF Podcast, and on YouTube at No Fucking Filter Podcast.
We would love to hear from you if you have any episode ideas or any crazy stories to tell. We are always accepting new sponsorships, or if you'd like to be featured on the podcast, feel free to reach out. Bye.